I'd just like to thank you both for inviting me back again, and also for setting the vibration for this morning to work. I'm going to share with you, first of all, some inspired writing that's come directly from the Spirit. It's given to me over the last couple of days, and it brings us very nicely into what has been already given this morning from both Truth and James, and particularly the music that was playing as we came into the room. I want to share with you this insight from Spirit, if I may. Before the eyes, a sight to behold, a majestic scene unfolds. A world so clear, skies so blue, and lush carpets of green and brown. A sun rising and setting as the day unfolds, and for what a wondrous gift bestowed on man. Rivers and oceans flowing clean, mountains rocky with snow-capped peaks, where animals roam free to be at ease within the trees, hiding away from the predator known as man. Within this world, with its seasons of gold, there is a rhythm that ebbs and flows, nature's melody to behold. But then into this world, destruction and greed, where the land was stripped bare and the waters became filled with the poisons that flowed from the dark buildings that pumped out their gases of waste into the clean filtered air. The gift that was given with such love became a place of desertion and ruined lands. The gift still remains, but not always as beautiful as it was when it was first unwrapped. Like a toy discarded after play, what is to become of this barren place? The years have rolled forward, and man reawakens and begins to realize the error of his ways. With shame and pain, he begins to change, to readdress the balance, putting down new trees and clearing the waterways. The gift giver stands back with a deep inner knowing that his gift now is appreciated. As man once again becomes the caretaker for the gift of the lands, he is entrusted in man to know of his mistakes, but he is proud that he's cleaning up his acts. And there is a long way to go for the world to return to that unblemished state before man came. The gift giver never wavered in his trust, never stopped believing in the power of man. As a trusting parent, he knows his children would find their way. And the world is coming alive again. The gift is renewed, to be cherished. When mistakes have been made, there is always an opportunity to learn and grow. And like the season changes, so does man. Remember the gift that was given, and the world and man can live as one when he truly understands his place and why he lives upon this land. In the fullness of time, when man lays down quietly to leave this gift behind, what will his thoughts be for his child? I have forwarded you a beautiful gift, or will it be a canvas that's bare? God is the creator, but man is the destroyer. But each of us is part of the God, so there will always be a chance to rebuild. Like the farmer, what you sow is what you reap. Let the God force always be in command, for when man stands alone, he surely is living in barren lands. When we look at ourselves as a spirit and how we interact with the world, it is only fair to say that we have to understand and realize exactly what that spirit means, what it means to be of spirit. As the meditation gave us and led us into that awareness state, it is now as we understand that we are part of the whole. We are of nature, we are of the universe, and we are that spark that is in with each and every one of us. And yet many times man has governed his own thoughts and controlled what he thinks is the correct way. But when we step outside of the ego and we leave behind that physical side of ourselves, you begin to understand as spirit that it is the great spirit that governs us all. Most of you here today are living in a vast, colossal reserve of nature. That is, some of it is still untouched and still stands as it was in centuries of time. In your own domain, in your own little quarter of the world, you have all resources around you. Yet some of you have had difficulties with nature at her best, and many would say at her worst. We are living in times of turbulence and change, and yet man is still thinking in that way that they can control. If we follow the ebb and flow of nature, like the rivers and the streams and the oceans, in life you will all ebb and flow. And when we overcome these tsunamis of emotion that take you on a journey of sometimes indecision and sometimes of fearfulness, and yet when we gather together the energy of the spirit in its truest form, when you recognize within you that power that is God-given, that is instilled in you from the moment of time, that time of conception, there was such a message given to the world. And there have been many messengers that have come and gone, that have prophesied over the lands from memorial times. And yet here today, in this world of technology, as we are using at this very moment in time, the greatest message that is ever given is that the spirit survives all of this turmoil, all of this colossal change that he finds himself in. And if you could take yourself physically out of it, as we have just done in that meditative state, and you can truly become aware and appreciate the spirit that you are, you'll put aside your fears, you put aside those worries, and you'll know and stand in the power of the great source. And you will understand that you can accomplish anything and overcome anything. There is nothing to fear. There is no death, only of the physical being. And yet in this world, there is sadness, there is strife, there is anger, and there is war. But the biggest war that is created is in the minds of man. That turbulent emotion that is created by the negative thought pattern, worrying about what others are thinking about you, what they are saying about you, how they are treating you. And yet if you can project from yourself that being, that light force that governs each and every one of us, you will radiate out into the world what you would like to receive. We know from our actions and our thoughts and words that you are individually responsible. And everything that is done here today is done with the highest and best of intention. For we are gathered in the spirit. We have created this vibration that is in a secular bubble, that is free from the chaos of life. We are building a bridge that your loved ones can come and communicate. And you have this power within you to do this every day. And the power is direct from the source of light. It is the power of creation. It is an energy that is infinite. Man has destroyed gifts that have been given freely and with love, without condition. And yet he blames many others apart from himself. If we bring it down into everyday terms, how many times have you heard that someone is crying, woe betide? Why me? Why is this always happening to me? Say to each and every one of you, why not you? What makes you so special that you are free from anything that is not perfect? For the spirit to go through this humane human experience, it has to undergo many trials and tribulations. Each generation will have war and conflict. For in those times, that is the greatest growth of the spirit. That is the evolution of the spirit. It is constantly evolving. One of the principles of life and of spirit law is eternal progression, is open to all things. That is man, woman, child, and the animal kingdom as well. And yet nature is that great teacher. For how many times do you see in nature the infinite changes that go on every day? And when we blend our energy with nature and become part of the flow, instead of swimming up on the tide, you will find your life improving. You will cast aside your doubt and you will live in the spirit, for you are the spirit. And living in that spiritual mind now, not when you have gone from this physical world, now, in this moment, you will find yourself becoming more balanced. You will feel that grounding of nature in all its glory that stabilizes all that unrest that's within you. Our greatest teacher is nature, with its wisdom that she gives us every day. And that gift is given from the Creator. Now, do not set yourself aside from the Creator, because you are part of that creation. Each of you have gifts. Some of you may be talented artists, inspiring actors and singers, the painters, the creations of beautiful objects, all aspects of the God that's within you. Some of you are writers and performers, and some of you are gifted with a beautiful, soft voice that will help and heal. And some of you have that inner ability to allow the energy of healing to flow through you. And that does not take a certificate, an achievement, an award achievement. That comes naturally from that of the Creator. And the communication that we have in the mindset comes from the Creator. Each of you have the ability to raise the vibration within you, to lift up and connect with that source of light. Rather like we put the plug into the socket, we raise the vibration and meet that of the world of light halfway. Do not expect this unique experience to give you the answers to every aspect of your life. For what would be the purpose in living? Because the human experience and the spirit experience in that human frame has to have something to achieve within itself. How many times of those of you that had struggles and then gained something through that struggle, how many times have you appreciated it? Not all of you are given a silver spoon on birth. Some of you have had hardships untold hardships, families torn apart because they cannot live together. Some of you not known all of your ancestors, and yet you still survive. And each time you go through that change, the evolvement of your spirit is accelerated. We are in effect returning home. We've come from the beginning and we will go back to the beginning. It's a constant circle of evolution and enlightenment. And some of you will take longer than others, for your understanding may be different. Once you take out of your everyday context of the material world and put that to one side and feed the soul with the beauty of nature, the gift of giving freely without condition, expect nothing in return, but put out into the world the light that you are. Become a beacon for those that are in need. Become the lighthouse for the weary traveler. As I look around and see your faces here, and many of you are looking into the world at large, how many of you understand really where the Spirit is, where the Great Spirit is? Each of you have that within you to become the great creator, to manifest everything in your destiny, what is meant to be. And we're not talking about material wealth. We're talking about the growth and the acceleration of spirit and how you can be at ease with yourself. Be attuned to the spirit of the creation. Be attuned to the spirit of the universe. And remember that each and every one of you have a purpose. You have been chosen to come here. You have entered into a contract to share in the ups and downs of life. And each of you in turn will help another fellow being. Remember that every problem that you overcome along your journey of life, you will meet someone that was in that moment exactly where you once were. And you will be able to say to them, come on, I can lead you through this. I survived. Your world has seen many tragedies that you look at in the human eye. In the spirit, we do not see it like that. We see it as a great chance to learn and grow. Death is just a doorway to another dimension. It's an opportunity for the spirit to live as it should do, without the chaos, without the restraint. It is meant to be as it is. It is meant to be the nature of man. I'll leave those thoughts with you, and may the blessings of the Great Spirit be with you, friends.